for overdrawing on your checking account have almost tripled over the last decade. Some banks are charging a fee as high as $45 for a bounced check or debit card. Consumer specialist Rick Romero takes a look at those fees and how consumer complaints are starting to make the banks change their ways. Rick.
Well, Mark, you're right. It appears that banks are beginning to listen to consumers, including a complaint from one of our viewers. And I say that because some banks just announced some changes to their overdraft fees. Unfortunately, there are plenty of other banks that are sticking to the same old practices. Rhonda Salas is a struggling mom with 2 small children. Money is so tight that along with her husband, they all live with his grandfather in Carson. It's one way they can make ends meet. But Rhonda couldn't believe it when she went online and saw that her bank had charged her 5 different overdraft fees to cover 5 debit card purchases she made when there wasn't enough money in her bank account. The overdraft fees were $35 each.
It cost me something like $38 for my iced tea at In-N-Out because I had ran my card, went under zero, and then $35 fee plus the iced tea.
Rhonda admits she should have kept a closer eye on her bank accounts, but says the fees, which totaled $165, were outrageous in comparison to the small amounts she was overdrawing. And no plea for mercy would change things.
They will only remove a fee if it's a banking error, and it doesn't matter if you're crying, if you say you have very little money, which I tried doing. The lady just says, "I'm human, this breaks my heart, but we can't. It's not a banking error."
Harvey Rosenfield is with Consumer Watchdog and says the banking industry will collect as much as $38 billion this year on overdraft protection fees. That's more than they'll collect on penalties from credit cards and is nearly double what was collected in 2000. And not only that, overdraft charges are not covered by the Truth in Lending Act. So that means that banks don't have to disclose the interest rate they charge you on those fees. In fact, in a recent FDIC study, it shows that a customer could be charged an annual percentage rate of a whopping 3,520%.
There's no limit to what the banks can get away with.
But the California Bankers Association says most fees are entirely avoidable.
If customers are on top of their checking account balance, most people can avoid an overdraft fee. If you're not spending more money than you've got in your account, you shouldn't be addressed or assessed an overdraft fee.
But when we talked to Rhonda's bank, Bank of America, they did make a change in policy and responded to us with a statement saying, "We recognize that many of our customers are facing financial challenges. We have established a customer assistance program to offer unemployed customers immediate fee relief, including waiving monthly account maintenance fees and refunding fees for non-sufficient funds on overdrafts." And that's not the only change by Bank of America. And J.P. Morgan Chase also announced a change in their overdraft fees and practices. Bank of America says starting October 19th, they will cap the fees it charges. It will not charge a fee if the account is overdrawn by $10 or less. And Chase says in 2010 they will eliminate fees on accounts overdrawn by $5 or less and will make overdraft protection an opt-in decision for all consumers. So as you can see, consumer complaints are beginning to make a difference. But again, several banks still have the same old fees and practices. And Michelle, we'll have to go after them too.